They say Kepler 442a isn't a planet. It's a scar in space. A colossal orbital station, a steel ring wrapped around a dim orange star. It was built layer upon layer over centuries of forgotten history. Dockyards the size of continents are bolted onto slums which cling precariously to gleaming military spires. In the dark, forgotten sectors, engines older than entire nations still hum their ancient song. It's a station that never sleeps. And neither did Orhun. He was a soldier, a grunt in the Terran outer defense, stationed on the ring's lower sectors. Down there, gravity flickers like a dying candle, and the only law is what you can enforce with a rifle. His armor was scratched and dented, a tapestry of near misses. His rifle was old, a relic from a war his grandfather fought. But his eyes were the most worn part of him, tired from staring into the endless, uncaring dark. Orhun had been born on Kepler 442a. He had a sinking feeling he would die there too. The galaxy was at war again. It always was. The attack came without warning. It wasn't pirates, and it wasn't rebels. This was something worse. The station's alarms shrieked a song of pure terror as reality itself began to tear open. Near the outer docks, void fractures appeared, black, jagged wounds in the fabric of space. And through them, ships poured out. Their designs were angular, wrong, as if space itself bent around their hulls in fear. The Nerethi had arrived. An ancient species, silent, ruthless. They didn't conquer worlds. They erased them from existence. Orhun's squad was ordered to seal Dock Ring 7. It was a suicide mission. They never stood a chance. Blasts of unknown energy ripped through reinforced steel like it was paper. The artificial gravity failed, and men screamed as they were sucked out into the cold, silent vacuum of space. Orhun was thrown across the deck, a ragdoll in a hurricane of shrapnel. He slammed hard against a containment chamber, a strange, monolithic structure marked with symbols older than human language. The chamber cracked, and inside, something that had been sleeping for eons woke up. Orhun should have died. Anyone else would have. But instead of being torn apart, the chamber imploded. Into him, a firestorm of pure light burned through his veins. Stars screamed inside his skull. In a flash, he saw the entire universe unfold before his mind's eye. Galaxies colliding like titans. Entire civilizations turning to dust. And watching over it all, a cosmic force older than time itself, now watching him. When Orhun finally staggered to his feet, the battlefield was silent. Twisted metal, once a part of the dock, now hovered in the air around him, held by an invisible force. His wounds were gone. His eyes now glowed with a faint golden light. Outside the dock, the Nerethi ship that had caused all this chaos simply ceased to exist. It didn't explode. It just wasn't there anymore. Then the power receded, and Orhun collapsed. He woke up as a liability. The military wanted to cut him open, to dissect the miracle that saved him. Scientists clamored to study him, to quantify the impossible power he held. And the Nerethi? The Nerethi wanted him dead more than ever. So he ran. He fled across systems, across hostile borders, and eventually across entire galaxies. He used ancient, hidden jump paths revealed to him by the power now living inside his chest. He learned its name, Starfire. It was the last echo, the dying breath of a long-dead cosmic civilization. He also learned what he had become, a living conduit. He could bend gravity with a thought, ignite stellar energy with a gesture, and tear holes through the very fabric of space. But this power came at a terrible cost. Every time he used it, a small piece of his humanity burned away, leaving something colder, more distant, in its place. He was becoming less Orhun and more Starfire. He met Alira on a drifting world called Valeth. It was a planet that had been broken in half long ago. Two shattered continents now held together only by massive gravity engines and the stubborn hope of its people. She wasn't human. Her people had been one of the many erased by the Nerethi. She had survived by becoming a hunter, not of bounties, but of relics and secrets, always one step ahead of the past. She wasn't afraid of Orhun or the star he held inside him. In fact, she challenged him. She mocked his self-pity. She stood between him and his own self-destruction. They fought together, back to back against mercenary fleets, ravenous void beasts, and petty warlords who ruled over dead stars. And slowly, against all odds, something dangerous began to grow between them. It started with trust, then it became affection, and then it blossomed into love. In a universe that punished attachment, they found each other. It was then that the Nerethi revealed their true, horrifying plan. They weren't invaders. They were refugees. They were fleeing from something older and more terrible than even them. A cosmic entity that devoured entire galaxies, not for conquest, but to reset existence itself. The starfire burning inside Orhun wasn't just a weapon. It was the key, the only key, to stopping this galactic devourer. But to use its full power would mean Orhun's certain death. Or worse, it would burn away the last of his soul, leaving only a mindless cosmic force behind. Orhun and Alira made their choice. They rallied a desperate coalition of fractured species from across 3 galaxies. Ancient fleets, long thought to be myth, rose from their slumber. Living ships with minds of their own joined their cause. Warriors forged in the hearts of stars answered the call. The final battle took place at the edge of creation, a place where space itself thinned into an endless nothing. Stars were used as weapons. Time itself broke and shattered under the strain. And at the heart of it all, Orhun finally unleashed the starfire completely. He burned, he screamed, and then he vanished. The entity was destroyed. The Nerethi, their long flight finally over, were gone. The galaxies survived. But Orhun was missing, presumed consumed by his own power. Alira searched for him. She searched for years. The years turned into decades. Her hope never wavered. Then, on a quiet, forgotten world beneath the light of unfamiliar stars, she found him. He wasn't a god. He wasn't a weapon. He was just a man. The starfire was gone. It had been spent, its purpose fulfilled, and it was satisfied. Orhun remembered everything, the battles, the power, the sacrifice, and he chose to stay mortal. He chose her. They were married beneath an open sky, with no fleets or flags to witness it. The man who could destroy stars now built things with his hands. The soldier who hunted now protected a small plot of land. Stories began to spread across the recovering galaxies, whispers of a soldier who became a star, and then chose love over eternity. Far away, the great station Kepler 442a still turned around its dying sun, a scar in space that never slept. But somewhere far beyond it, on a world full of life, Orhun finally slept. And for the first time the universe let him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tailies from across the cosmos. See you next time.